Hey guys, this is Daryl at 151 Media, and today we are at the Golden Hall celebration for trying to get Coleen Cusack elected for District 3 here in the San Diego upcoming election. So let's find out a little bit about Coleen and what her agenda is. Coleen, hi, thanks for coming to 151 Media. How are you?
I thought you were going to have me sing a song.
Well, that's the next thing. What is District 3? What does that represent?
District 3 is 13 communities. It's North Park, South Park, Park West Balboa Park, flip a dip to East Village, then turn right and you're in downtown, Middletown, uptown, not Old Town, and I'm only half the way through. Golden Hill, Bankers Hill, Mission Hills and Hillcrest, grab a hunk and chunk a dunk before you go into University Heights and Mission Valley, but only south of Friars Road.
Well done. How do you guys like that?
Yeah.
Coleen is it. So Coleen, tell us a little bit about yourself and cannabis. How long have you had a cannabis relationship?
All right, so I learned that I had epilepsy at age 13 and...
Hang on, we got a plane coming. 1 second, sorry. Okay, thanks, sorry.
I learned that I had epilepsy at age 13. At age 16, I discovered cannabis. And if my 16-year-old self could see me now with the dispensaries that are out there and the choices. So I've been a long-time user and a long-time proponent of safe cannabis and options for individuals. We had that scare with the spice in San Diego for so long, and
synthetic,
that
yep.
is just not an issue now because individuals have they can do the medical option for marijuana at 18, and the access to cannabis is so much safer, organic, and healthier.
So you've had a medical relationship with cannabis since you were 16.
Yes.
Did you just start having seizures at 16? Or?
13 is when I started.
At 13, okay. And what were you prescribed to treat that? Depakote. And
Yeah.
did that have any negative reactions to
Oh,
you?
you got to test for that. It builds up in the liver. It can cause liver dysfunction. And honestly, I don't know how much it actually stabilized.
So in the last, say, maybe 30 years that you've been treating yourself with cannabis, how are the seizure effects been? Have it reduced, minimized, eliminated?
Well, my seizures are hormonally changed, so post-menopause that they went away.
Okay.
But the cannabis definitely regulates, definitely slows my brain waves down. That's what the problem with the epilepsy is, they're just too fast.
We're going to get a plane again, so 1 second. But yes, that's important for people to know that the medical values to people who then seek elected office need to come together for this. And give us a second. Okay, so we lost you at hormonally. Sorry.
I think we got that. So the seizures are hormonally caused, so I haven't been suffering them post-menopause. Get other symptoms post-menopause, ladies, but not those. But it lowers my brain waves. My brain waves are just so fast, and the cannabis helps
regulate that.
Yeah.
Moderate it.
So I'm a proponent.
Because that's a lot of what we see is the synapses and this rapid firing, and that happens. It's a very stress-filled world we live in too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you found specific genetics that do the job better than others, more indica, sativas?
Oh, I'm definitely a sativa fan.
Are you? Okay.
I can't even do the hybrids. I want to be awake and enjoy the effects.
So we have a living, breathing somebody running for office. What possessed you to run for office?
I'm a longtime resident of San Diego and of North Park, and I'm an attorney who helps homeless individuals pro bono. I'm also a K-12 educator, so when I'm not in court, I grab a class to substitute teach.
Uh-huh.
And I am just really fed up with the direction that the city's going. We're making it's worse than not doing anything, because what we are doing is making things worse.
Have you found that the cannabis application processes are fair and transparent, or have you been involved in looking at any of that yet?
Well, the individual I'm running against, for 2.5 years, he had as a chief of staff someone who's also a lobbyist for cannabis retailers.
And who is that, please?
Jesus Cardenas.
Okay.
And that individual was subsequently prosecuted for fraud and convicted. And
He was for Stephen Whitburn, wasn't he?
correct. So during that time, he was advising Mr. Whitburn. They were pushing an ordinance forward that would expand cannabis licenses closer to schools, which was exactly where Cardenas's clientele were located, was close to the schools.
And
So
that was his sister too, wasn't
as
it?
soon as that, he slid money to his sister, who was a council member in Chula Vista.
Oh,
So
my.
when it was revealed by the media that he had a lobbyist working for him, my opponent was, oh, a lobbyist? Well, I'll have to make him have a choice. Does he want which job he wants?
Okay, one
And then he
second.
did
We got another
nothing.
plane, guys. San Diego must be a popular destination.
Clockwork.
So the
Right
Cardenas
underneath
is.
the flight path right now.
So that was the lobbyist Grassroots, right?
Um,
He was lobbying for a company called Grassroots.
he had a few, I think, cannabis companies.
All right.
But yeah, he was lobbying. He said publicly that none of his clients had business with the San Diego, and that was misleading because he was actively working to change the regulation scheme so that his clients would be perfectly situated to take advantage of that. And his influence over the current council member has not ended,
Really?
because you can't just as a council member hire lobbyists to work for you.
So you think
So
Mr. Whitburn would have
he's-
personally profited from that?
No, he's playing the, oh, I didn't know he was a lobbyist deal. And who knows whether he knew he was a lobbyist, is Jesus Cardenas. So Jesus Cardenas could go any day and say, I can assure you, I have proof that Mr. Whitburn was, knew that I was a lobbyist when he hired me. He would be witness against him. And so he has that threat. Cardenas has that threat. He can hold over him for the whole duration of that statute of limitations for that, when that crime runs. So he will be continuing to exert influence, even though he's no longer his chief of staff, corrupt influence over this office if Whitburn remains in the seat.
Now he was charged by our county district attorney, would be Summer Steffen. Is that correct?
Cardenas was charged.
Right. And the sister was charged as well in
Correct,
Chula
they were
Vista.
both charged and convicted.
And so that has been resolved now. They've accepted their pleas and
They did. They got a sweetheart deal. 45 days he received, and so this was a, you would have seen this. This could have been prosecuted federally. This was a violation of federal law by Summer Stefan coming in and taking over the prosecution and handing him a sweetheart deal. She protected him from a more serious federal charges.
there's 27 grand jury complaints that I know of that are investigating this practice right now. I'm not sure where that will go. It was in last year's and it's in this year's grand jury. Some of this comes down to the use of straw man practices. So the applicant isn't disclosed, or it's a shell company. Jeff McDonald just created an article about the social equity practice for that. Are you able to do anything once elected to help the city in terms of enforcing their laws in applicant disclosure?
So that's everything I've been doing for the last 30 years is about forcing the city to do what it's supposed to be doing and what it should be doing and what it's promised to the voters that it will be doing.
So that's a big
So,
part of what you represent.
We need, definitely more transparency.
One second. We need
more transparency. And if people are hiding their names, there's a reason for that. They don't want the public pressure that would come from people finding out what they're doing.
and these ordinances are on the books.
All right.
So when you see the Planning Commission, for example, not enforcing laws on appeals, that would represent a problem. And you're prepared to get into all that with them as a lawyer and insisting that they do their jobs.
I'm going to be the critic that we haven't had in City Council for years.
Now, there's other lawyers, a select group. Bob Otley comes to mind. I don't know if you know him, but that have called the City Council out for these past, careless omissions, whether it be by design or complicity for whatever reason. So if we have some of that, it's going to be disclosed. And it's going to take people like you to get us there.
I'm going to be using my position to educate the public because there's not enough of that being done. And there's a lot of gaslighting and misinformation that's being spread around.
Are there other attorneys on City Council?
There are two, Marnie von Wilpert and
Monica Montgomery was, but she's no longer.
Marnie von Wilpert and Raul Campillo
Okay, good.
were both city attorneys.
So,
And so they have a prosecutorial bent, and then Shawnilo Rivera went to law school but hasn't passed the bar.
okay, great. So when is the election?
November 5th.
Okay.
The ballots will hit mailboxes October 6th.
Okay, and where can people find out more information about you and your campaign?
Coleen4sd.com. That's COLEEN, the number 4, SD.com.
Thank you very much, Coleen. We'll stick with you.